What is up, nutrition nerds, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about what forms of carbohydrate supplements you should use when racing. Now this video came around because a friend of mine asked for some advice on what nutrition to use during a triathlon. He was confused because there are just so many brands out there who claim that their supplement is superior, and then there are different forms like gels or powder or bars. And he was worried that if he used one and not another, then he might miss out on certain benefits or not perform as well as he could. After talking it through with him, I realized that he's probably not the only one wondering, so I thought it would be a good idea to do a video on it and break it down for you lovely people. If you're new here, by the way, then hey, I'm James. I'm a sport and exercise nutritionist with a focus primarily on triathlon. I do weekly videos on nutrition tips on all sorts of different topics. So if that sounds good to you, then hit the subscribe button and the notification icon to get an alert when I release a new video. Okay, so let's get stuck in then. So my friend was a little bit overwhelmed because there are just so many brands who sell carbohydrate supplements for racing. There's Science in Sport, Martin, Torque, Cliff, Precision Hydration, and many more. And then there's bars, gels, chewies, powdered forms for liquids. Basically, there's a lot of choice. To start with, let's first go with what form, as in solid, liquid, or gel, to use when racing, as that's a great one to answer. To do so, we're looking at a study by Guilacon and Rowlands, where they compared a solid form of carbs versus a liquid versus a gel versus a mix. If you want to look at the full details, you can look at this yourself, but they found that the solid supplements seem to be correlated with more gastrointestinal upset and a reduction in performance, suggesting that it's better to go for a gel or a liquid form of carbohydrates compared to a solid. Another study by Saraven and colleagues compared a gel and a liquid form of carbohydrates on performance and gastro symptoms in triathletes, and they found that there was no significant difference in performance between the two. However, they did find that the gel seemed to be associated with a higher frequency of gastrointestinal symptoms, but yeah, it didn't seem to impact performance in any way. Whether by chance or because these studies are actually great representations of your average triathlete, my own personal experience from racing and from athletes that I've worked with would agree with this. That is, gels and liquids are usually well tolerated, but solids less so. So on the what type to have front, my advice would be for the most part to go with liquids or gels for your nutrition to minimize the risk of tummy upset later on in the race. However, if you find that you just crave some solid food during a race and you've practiced it and there's no issue, then that's fine too. But that brings us on nicely to why practicing is key and what brand to go for. The truth is that they all contain the same or very similar core ingredients, and they all provide carbohydrates for racing, which is the main thing that we need. I have done a video on hydrogels, by the way, the technology that Martin use. You know, the brand that provides nutrition for those ridiculous athletes like Jan Frodeno, where I go through the claims behind this hydrogel superiority. So if you're interested in that, then click the link at the top of the screen to watch it. Now when it comes to what brand, in my opinion, it actually comes down to what you prefer and what you get on well with. If you find one that works for you, you can tolerate it well, and from a taste and symptom point of view, it's fine, then stick with it. As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's far better to stick with something that works for you and lets you race well rather than just changing for the sake of it, or because you've heard that another might be better, or perhaps your friend uses one and they rave about it. My only caveat here would be to consider whether your preferred option contains a mix of carbohydrates or just the one carbohydrate, glucose. How much carbohydrate you need per hour depends on event and intensity, but I generally say if you're looking to take more than 40 grams of carbohydrates per hour, then you should be using a supplement that contains a mix of glucose and fructose. If it doesn't, then it probably is worth trying something new. I've talked about this more in other videos, and I've linked one of those at the top of the screen for you if you're interested. Otherwise, that is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found it useful. As always, I'd really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, press the subscribe button and the notification icon to stay up to date with my videos. And I will catch you in the next one. See ya.